Jamaican dub poet, radio host and cultural historian Mutabaruka arrived in Belize yesterday after his first visit 25 years ago. His visit comes on the heels of Emancipation Day, which is observed on August 1st every year. The UBAD Educational Foundation has organized several events to commemorate the observance. Muta is at the center of all the events. Today he spoke with Krem News on several topics. We first asked him about his evolution over the last quarter century.
Changing inevitable, you get more mature and you get more understanding of things, and you're more focused in what you're saying and what you're doing. Because we have been, in 25 years, we've been around the world maybe, I don't know much times. We go to places that we have never been. When I came here before, we never go around the world. But now we can say truly that we have been around the world more than one, more than two times. So it is very interesting that when we speak now, we speak, to me, I can speak with more authority, because a lot of things that I was saying then, we went to the places that we speak about, for instance, like Israel and like Ethiopia, like the Cameroons, in the Cameroon Mountain, in Morocco, South Africa, and all of these places that a lot of people read about, but we go there and see things that the normal person might not see. So when we talk with more straightforwardness, different from people who believe. This is really a problem. When you believe you know something is a problem, and you speak to somebody who knows. That's what I'm saying. Experience teach wisdom.
Here is Muta speaking on the struggles of grassroots people from his perspective.
We never learn about self. Our first connection with Africa was in the church, but nobody told us that it was Africa. So when we hear about Egypt, Ethiopia, and them places, we couldn't conceive in our mindset, but the things that we are going in them places are black people that do it. Because the images what we get was pure white images. So even today, when a big person talk, an elder talk, in a Christian belief, and you tell him, say, yeah, but take for instance now Pharaoh, who was a king of Egypt in Africa. They must say, where you get that from? Them can't understand why you associate Africa with Egypt. And if you look on the geography, you look on it, it says Egypt in Africa. If you talk about Ethiopia to a normal person, they must say them know why you want no Rasta thinking, like it's Rasta bring up Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a country in Africa. As a matter of fact, most of the continent south of the Sahara was called Ethiopia, which is a Greek word, land of the burnt faces. See? So those understanding leave the people them docile in how them should move as people, and that is really what create the problem now. So them is getting there, but them is moving. Sometimes they're moving like a turtle, where just move slow, and some of them are move too fast. So through them reach down and never get the experience of the turtles or the turtle. They have to come back. So sometimes when we take one step forward, we take a 10 step backward and still not reach nowhere. And if you look on all the people them behave and react, especially young people them just is like zombies.
The disinterest of society to learn about their origin and history runs parallel to end result of capitalism, of which media enterprises perpetuates.
The media feeding the youth them and the people them with things them that is coming from them whole system of colonialism, and don't want to explore other truths. They say there's so much truths to be reckoned with out there that if you continue to just get up every day and one equal two, and Jack and Jill went up there every day and all them things, knowing that science and technology advance to the point now where you can just look on this little rectangular thing and Google it, WhatsApp it, YouTube it, and get so much information. So we have to redirect the educational system, because once we were indoctrinated, our grandparents, most of them was indoctrinated. That's why them come up and believe that Jesus is a white man. That's why them come up and believe that democracy is the only way out of them problem. And when we look on what is happening today, those systems still don't increase the possibility of happiness for the people and the majority of the people. So we need now for use these mediums to facilitate what we call now a revitalization of education. That's what the people them need, not indoctrination, education.
Yeah, good day, good night. This is the cutting edge coming from different position in the world, Belize to be exact. For those of you tuning in who want to say Yale, I know our voice sounds strange, but this is Krem Radio in Belize, streaming on Krem Television, Facebook page, live, and Go Live BZ app. We'll be here until 12 o'clock going through, and you know, this is the eve of Emancipation Day. You know, in Jamaica we celebrate it as a holiday, so at 12 o'clock a lot of things will take place. So we want to make it kind of different here in Belize tonight. We want to give thanks for Krem Radio for really facilitating the cutting edge here. We want to give thanks to Yaya, the sister who responsible for bringing us here. We're going to continue the journey because, you know, say, really and truly, we have so much things to say in this time, especially like how it is Emancipation Day. Cutting edge, we're there with you. Is it because I'm black? I don't know about that still, but sometimes it look that way, it appear that way. That African people who's domiciled in these former slave plantation islands seem to forget them position that they had in world history. Because most of the times when we talk about Africa, all we hear about is slavery because they never teach about African history in a school. Our first connection with Africa was in the church, but guess what? Most people never ever recognize that. Because when we hear about Egypt and Ethiopia and these places, is Africa there? But who teach geography in a church? No pastor no teach geography in a church. They might tell you about a geographical location when it exists in the sky. Yet still might tell you about things that are going on earth. And they might will tell you, say, good living when you die. Yet still all the things them where is mentioned in the Bible. No apartheid was happening in Europe, nor China, nor India. It's almost like we lose the connection with geographical location when we start to adopt church thinking. But we know now and we understand that most of the things them that we get taught in church was happening in Africa, especially in the so-called Old Testament, in Africa, in Iraq. That time it wasn't called Iraq, it was called Mesopotamia. We know that Egypt, the last time I look, it is still in Africa, but it is now colonized by Arabs. The majority of Arabs in the world is not living in Arabia, them living in Egypt. But we know the original inhabitants of those lands were black people, and it has been proven through DNA testing in the so-called pyramids of Egypt. There's a Senegalese professor by the name of Cheikh Diop. And we should really go check out this man. Cheikh Diop prove that the Egyptian pharaohs were black people. And the people them that built those pyramids and sphinx and all these things were black people, African people. But we lose focus. We lose focus because people who write history write it from the point of view of themselves. And if you are in power, you write history from the point of view of yourself and your people. So those of us who wrote, those of them who wrote those history, recolor and re-point of view them ideas and give it to us as African people. Now African people is so confused. So confused. We don't know whether we're going or coming. But it is all about emancipating yourself from mental slavery, because only we alone can free ourselves, you know. Powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take the power away from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. Yes, first it was the Arabs, and then the Portuguese come. First set of Europeans to come in there was the Portuguese. A lot of people don't even know that Christopher Columbus, who is from a place named Genoa in Italy. Christopher Columbus was a sailor on those Portuguese ships that took Africans, not bringing them across the Atlantic, but carry them north through the Sahara. So there's a slave trade that through the Sahara we never really even talk about when the Portuguese venture into Africa and carry the slave them. Can you imagine our African ancestors traveling through those burning sun to reach into Europe? Then come the Spaniards with Columbus again. Because Columbus was with the Portuguese and then him go with the Spaniards. But at that time, the Spaniards under Columbus was the lead man in this thing, and also him decided that he would go to India. Yeah, they were looking for a trade route to India. And Columbus, people refused to accept him challenge to travel west to reach to India. And he went to the king and queen of Spain, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. And him got 3 ships to carry him here, and nobody wouldn't come with him because them afraid. Because at that time the Europeans thought that the world was flat. Just like some people now with them idiotic thinking on YouTube. I perpetuate this madness about the earth flat. Anyway, Columbus take 3 ships and decide, say, since him can't get nobody to come with him, I'm going to the prison them in Spain. Why, listen to me carefully. Him going to the prison them and him promise the murderers, the thief, the rapists them, and every perverted person can find for come with him. And promise them gold and land when them reach in this part of the world. So those 3 ships was filled with all sorts of criminals. And the chief navigator on those ships was black man, Moors. Because we know that the Moors was in Spain for 700 years, influencing the culture and the science and the architecture of Spain. Them don't teach you these things in history class. And Christopher Columbus traveling west to reach to the east. Buck up on some island you saw. Over here so now him reach you saw. And him decide say him go stick flag night in the name of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, ignoring the people them that was here. As usual, that is what white people always do. Them go to people land and behave like nobody else not on the land, and them was the first. So Columbus say him discover this part of the world when it was existing thousands of years before him and him family and him friend them exist. So them come here now and manipulate and control the land and kill off a whole heap of the people them who was here, who them come see here, known as the Taínos. And the Taínos have to take back seat because them was looking gold. And them demand that them go and send out the Taínos them to look gold, and anybody who don't find enough gold, them go and chop off them hand and them foot. And we know of a similar situation with King Leopold of Belgium that was looking all sort of this and that, and when him don't find them, Him chop out the people them hand. There are pictures of that. Not painting and drawing we're talking about. Photo. King Ferdinand killed more Africans than Hitler killed Jews. And King Ferdinand, King Leopold of Belgium killed more Africans than Hitler killed Jews. That is not portrayed in front of African people to make them know that this man who never stepped foot, and I repeat, King Ferdinand, all right, come again. King Leopold never set foot in Africa. Never go to Africa yet. And him caused the death of 10 million Africans because they was exploiting and plundering the wealth of the Congo. And that is what Columbus came here and do also. Columbus come to this part of the world and plunder looking for gold and all sort of things. Carry back some of the Tainos them to Spain to become showpiece for white people. Put them in cage and like zoo. Human zoo. And a lot of people don't know that Christopher Columbus died in prison in Spain. Christopher Columbus died in prison in Spain. And then the English come and took away the land them, a lot of the land them from the Spaniards, like Jamaica. There was a fight between the Spaniards and the British. And then you have Jamaica under British control. Belize, British control. So the king and the queen, don't know which one of them was male or female, but they control these parts. But we want the people them to know, say all of them land here is capture land. Now them are talk about people are alien and you have to have passport and visa and all everything. Every land where white people set foot upon is capture land. America is capture land. Them take it from the Native Americans, them call them red man. India, them colonize India, divide it up, call one part Pakistan and one part India. Is capture land. Australia, Aboriginal, capture land. Guyana, Amerindian, capture land. All of them, capture land. Yeah, I hear some of my brethren are coming along this weekend when we're there. Yes. And me I tell you, say, you see that tune named Capture Land? All I want to say, you see that Capture Land tune are the sweetest chronic tune. I know if you want land, you have to get all paper to say you want the land. I can't believe that. You can't believe that. Land, paper. What is paper towards land? Land is the business of power. Black people, if you don't have no land, you don't have no power. Every war that has been fought on earth was fought over land. And now them ivory in some little sky-rise box. Black people have been living in some little box on top of one another. We don't used to them living there. But guess what? We're there so. And them put we there. And we feel good. Sometimes somebody feels good for no same upon our 10th story. You got a New York, a man same upon the 10th story building, him feel good. What kind of foolishness that? Why you have a plant food? You can't plant food upon a 10th story building. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So we will tell you about Christopher Columbus venture into this part of the world. So the English come and take away the land from them, the Spaniards. So you have some land where they never get, like Cuba, stay with the Spaniards. Then you have a next group of Europeans come again now, named the Dutch. And them gone with some of the land them too. And then you have a next group, hey, may I tell you man, plundering like worries man. You have a next group named the French. And them come and plunder like Guadeloupe, Martinique, Haiti. And it go on and on and on until we hear say no. Any part where the British colony there is the Queen of England own it. The Queen of England is the biggest landowner in the world. She own all Belize. The land under the water surrounding Belize, Jamaica, and anywhere it's called the former British colony is owned by Queen Elizabeth and her successors. So you see, if Queen Elizabeth died today, and our successor decides, say, you know, we want to go and have a beautiful holiday in Belize. You see how fast the politicians them are running a fixed road and I put up new building. The other day, Obama come to Jamaica. A couple years ago, Obama said, come to Jamaica, them fix up the road, them Obama take helicopter and never walk on the road. It was a terrible thing, tragedy. How much money they spend for fix road. And Obama take a helicopter going to the place where I'm supposed to go. Terrible. Terrible. So, we exist and we're still there. Because after the time, you know, them take Africans because them was the British we are talking about now. Because the British control this land here, Belize, control Jamaica and other parts. But when the British come, they were addicted to a thing named sugar and rum. And we know that sugar is a drug. Sugar is a drug. Rum is a drug. And the way them get the rum and the sugar was to plant cane. But white people's skin can't take too much sun. It start to get pussy like it start to come watery. So them did have to get laborers. And the way them get the laborers is to go across the Atlantic again and take our African brothers and sisters and children and bring them here to work the plantation in the Caribbean and the cotton field them in America. And this was the beginning of the worst atrocity that has ever been placed on human beings in history since man upon the earth, where human beings was not seen as human beings but as cargo to work the plantation. Them never see we as you. It's just ironical that them no respect we as human beings, yet still them sleep with a woman them and rape a woman them. And some of us never want to reach on it, so we jump overboard in the watery grave that is now Atlantic Ocean. And mothers who find themselves pregnant jump over the boat instead of make them children born in that terrible situation where they bring across and naked, packing us on top of one another like sardine. So can you imagine for 2-3 months you're in a ship where everybody hook up on one another, and if you have to defecate, then rightly so. If you have to urine rightly so. If you feel bad and vomit, you have to vomit rightly so upon one another. All them do is come and take some seawater and chew upon everybody and wash them out. Terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. And when we look at all them things, we wonder how black people, after going through all of that, disrespect them ancestors so much by doing the things that them are do right now. How can we know, say, these things take place in our history where them kill, murder, rape, rob, lynch with ancestors, and then we come today and I go like we're free? How can we be free when we still have to make them feed we, clothes we, tell we when to go to work? Who create a 9-to-5 job for our people to go to? Why we have to go to work 9 to 5? Them create that because you know, just when you reach home, you're so tired that you don't have no time for family. And the only time you have for family is on Sunday. And you don't spend no time with your family more than carry them go to church to hear more of the things them that will enslave you more. This is the cutting edge coming to you live from Belize, Chem Radio, streaming on Chem Television, Facebook page, live on Go Live BZ app. And sometimes the music cloud where you really want to get cross in the song because the message so heavy. Sometimes people move them body and remember and don't remember say it's really the lyrics of the song you really want the people them hear most of the time. So here we are going to do. You see that tune I just play with Damian Marley. I hope people know the tune, you know, but I know some people don't really listen to the music. You know, black people, you know, we don't listen. I mean, we hear, but we don't listen. And as we go into Emancipation Day, we have to reflect on who came before us and who fought the good fight so that we can still be here regardless of. Because we are the ones who've been searching for. We are the ones. You know, people talk about ancestors. I am my ancestor. Because if it wasn't I, there would be no argument of ancestors. And if it wasn't my ancestors, I wouldn't be here. So we have to reciprocate the idea and the consciousness that I am my ancestor. So when we talk about slavery, it's I them put in the ship. And it's I them beat and it's I them rape and rob and kill and cheat and all the things them that is evil that men can do against men. Is I them do it too. Because I going to reflect and I going to remember. And if you don't have no remembrance, you're in a serious problem. Because you're going to be complacent to the point where complacently lead you again into slavery. And that is really where it look like it's happening. Some of us look like we want to go back to slavery. Some of us are still in slavery. Even though we don't see no chain on our foot and no shackles. But you know, our ancestors could have used a sledgehammer and a chisel and lick up the chain them and gone. But when you have some people brains and mind in a slavery and them feel like them free and them do everything not under their own way and thinking, but given to them to live out and them feel so them free, you know, so that is serious thing. That is a serious thing when you have a man do certain things and him feel says him decide to do it and don't know so deep within him psyche it was placed in front of him to do this thing. No, you can't tell some people that, because you have some people that say, oh, they have tell me say all the government know. You have to say the politicians don't know what they do and this and that and politicians and politicians. If you look on how the system set up under the British colonies, it is designed to keep Britain in power. So whether you are the government of Belize, the government of Jamaica, or any government that don't search for a republican state, a republic state, you're going to continue to use the yardstick of the British colonial masters to decide how you run your government and how you get cross education and how you bring things to a lawful end, not justice. Lawful. Because the law does not necessarily mean that you are going to get justice. Justice is a different thing from maintaining law. Law and order is what is set up to decide what is law and order. Justice is when people get the right and fair share of goodness and happiness. And right now, most black people is traumatized. We're not happy. We're not happy at all because we are shooting one another. Politicians corrupt. I don't know how. It's like a chain reaction with governments in the Caribbean. I don't know why. It seems as if there's a season for corruption. You know, like mango season, you have like corruption season. So when you go to Jamaica now, that's the biggest thing in Jamaica, corruption. And you know the weirdest thing about it, you have parties grip the people them. You have two parties all the while. Most of the time in the Caribbean, British colonies, you have two parties all the while where grip the people them, you know. The opposition and the one in power. Sometimes I have to ask the question all the while. Why is it when a party is out of power, him have the best ideas for the country? The greatest, sweetest ideas. That's when you hear them attack. When them not in a power, you say, yes, yes. And them who are in a power, when them go in a power, them go like them idiot. Them always have, in a Jamaica, anytime you hear say a party out of power, and you listen to them, you know, which of them want me interview politician in Jamaica, I said, no, I'm not interviewing no politician for my program them, because I realize that them mouth sweet. Them mouth sweet when them not in power. And when them not in power, them tell you all the damn promises are comfort. Them comfort you with promises, just like how the preacher promise you better life when you're dead. And none of them never dead yet, if you know what is happening when you're dead. The politician promise you good living when you're alive, and the preacher promise you good living when you're dead. It's really a serious thing. But these politicians always have the nice talk. Forgive you when them out of power. When them going out of power, it's a different thing. Them start to find sort of excuse why this oil gone up for the international market, and the money devalue, and then them have to go to bank, International Monetary Fund, and owe money, and them know say all of those things was not placed there to move people forward. It was placed there to maintain a system that has been there for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. And the British system, even though it might not look like it having a power over the farmer colonies, but trust me, it's when I'm going to Parliament, it's Britain at its highest level. It's like they are England without visa. When you go in a Parliament, them have the same. You see how black people are put on all this wig on them head and sit down with these cloak. Why them not go wear locks? Because that is really what it's all about. The man with the most locks is him as the judge. The man in a Parliament who is a spokesperson, him have to put on this wig. Can you imagine black people have on this wig where you look for the white people place? You have that. What is that all about? Because they are still under Queen of England. Them don't want to admit it, but when them say independence, we have to question the argument of independence. When these people say, when them say independence, what them really mean? Because we know what they mean, you know. We know what they mean. Them want to make you believe, say, we're independent to do this as a nation, that as a nation. But look on the people them. Everywhere we go, look on the people them. Look how the people them are live. Look how the people them can't afford certain things. And when we talk about certain things, because you have to go to work from 9 to 5. Some of us have to work more than that. And then when you're done work, them draw out all sort of money out of your pay. And them say it is to go towards health, care, road, and all these importation and all these things. But why we have to cry? Why we have to have a program like them up on radio? These programs should be obsolete. We shouldn't have to talk about these things. We should have just play music and happy and don't worry, be happy and drink Hennessy and get drunk and just not care about nothing. But we have to care, and if you don't care, you're a part of the problem. If you don't care, you're a part of the problem. And that is really what is happening to black people today. Our voice is getting, our mouth are getting shut more and more because we're scared. We're scared. There are people that say, but I don't want to say nothing here, right, because I grow up, come see it, I go so. I can't change it. Well, if you really feel, say, you can't change nothing, then we're in a sad state of affair. Because you can just imagine the man who invent certain things. The thing say, the first go him invent it, him try and try and try and try, till one day him just go some bomb and it work. And most of the things that we use now is not the first try cause it to work. You know, the man who did plant certain food, him plant one seed and realize, why right now, when him plant that seed there, him no see it come and wonder why. But eventually, him do it again and again and again, and him realize, you know, you have certain things when you plant in a light, like moonshine, full moon, and the man who plant it, every time he plant it in a full moon, him realize it now comes time, I can try when the moon not there, and him plant it, and it come. Him say, oh, I saw it go. We as African people have to wake up to certain realities. When I talk about those food, clothes, and shelter reality, because that is what them grab you with, food, clothes, and shelter. Because I said, the more them have your thing on food, clothes, and shelter, is the more them can bob and weave and scheme and put them on in the cookie jar and take out certain cookie. Sometimes when we look at the cookie jar, if we put all a little snake in the cookie jar, that's when them put them finger in it and get bite. We look at the educational system, them set the educational system that you can maintain the same system that oppress the people. Because the thing about it is that all of these people who put themselves up for elect and to govern the people, them is normal people. Them is people who you could have live with them in them neighborhood. You could have, you know, there with them, you know, as friends and them something there. But you see when them go into the something named power now, it's like it's them become monsters. It's like that different mindset. You know, it's a different thinking. You know, it's like a youth who, you never run up and down and go join the police force. From him put on the uniform, it's like a different person. And you say, how that possible? You and him used to do certain things on the road. And as him go turn police, so it's like, him have a different mindset. And him treat you a different way. And the politicians, them separate themselves from the people, them. Means politicians use the people. Politicians are there for rule nobody, you know. Because the people, them pay the politicians, and the politician is a servant of the people. It's not the people serving the politician. Because it's the people pay the politician. So when you say road we fix, road must fix. Him can't continue to say road I go fix and two him not say I'm going to use the election and nobody fix it. And then the other one will say, you know, long that road want to fix, and when I am in power, I am going to fix that road. And when him is in power, you say they want the road where you say you're going to fix. Him say, well, you want to see water and I don't let so, no, I have to fix the water and don't let so. Terrible people them. Terrible people them. So, on this day of the eve of emancipation, we're calling upon the people them in the former colonial spaces on these former slave plantation islands to wake up. Wake up. Emancipation, they're not just to go have some party and celebrate and say, yes, we're free, we're free, we're free. No. There's a woman named Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was an African in America. She had a thing named the Underground Railroad, where she was moving Africans from the south to the north because there was a more free space in the north near to Canada. So she was moving many people out of this underground rail. It's not really a train thing, you know. Them just call it that. Well, Harriet Tubman say, and I quote, I have freed many slaves, but I could have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. Did you hear what I say? Harriet Tubman say, I freed many slaves, but I could have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. And that is a slave mill where we work with. Because, can you imagine if what we know now, we had known it then, it would be a different picture if what we know now, we didn't know then. But now that we know what our grandparents and great-grandparents don't know. What are we doing with the information that is presented to us? How can we now have argument to give? They say, boy, them bring we as slave and all them something there. They never bring we as not slave. Them bring we and make we become slaves. If no slave never come here. But them turn we into slave. And our ancestors do them best to free themselves. What are you doing to free yourself from the different webs of frustration that you find yourself in, other than trying to get up every day to pay light bill, pay water rate, and try to get some food for your table? There's more to life than that. And we have to find the beauty of life before them press a button and destroy the whole away. Because that is them aim also. That is them ill also, because black people still blind to the sunlight, where them should have praised the sunlight, because the sunlight is there for heal you. The sunlight is there for nourish you, because there's no one thing on earth can live without the sun. But these people have a cunning way to change the S-U-N to S-O-N. So you feel, say, boy, right now the sun will come save you. The sun not coming out of the sky to save nobody. 93 million miles away, it's not coming out there. So you have to go look and realize that the sun is the source of all energy. The sun, S-U-N, not the S-O-N. The S-O-N is an illusion that them put by you. And the politician and the preacher, them combine together to deceive the people continuously. Deceive the people. And we know says that deception. And we know that good must overcome evil. Good must overcome evil. We're not asking, we are telling you that. So even though we know we attack and attack and attack, we know say talking don't go. The first word we utter in the earth still a travel. And it must reach the right ears. Must reach the right ears. But right now, the system come like a vampire, sucking the blood of the sufferer continuously. Them build them church and them university, deceiving the people continuously. And then we are play tune. We don't just play tune through, I just saw you know, we are play tune because we are connect the whole vibration with the music. Now you see that tune, yeah? We don't know about the next man, you know. These are the best Bob Marley tune. Greatest Bob Marley tune. And them hard to play it. Them hard to play it because of where he must say in it. Them love the one love, one heart. Let's get together and be alright. Everybody can jump up to that. And 3 little birds at my doorstep. And all them little frivolous thinking. Frivolous. But you see this tune, yeah? If you listen to it, you realize that Bob Marley really are going to it. And them are lick down. Because here people are praise Bob Marley. Them are praise Bob Marley because them are see him as a pop star, you know. Them not see him as a Rasta man. Because anyhow Bob Marley, trust me, anyhow Bob Marley was a Rasta man, you know. He wouldn't so articulate and have so much things to say. But they would have prefer one ease with the Rasta vibes from Bob Marley and say, boy, I'm great, you know. But you know, if there was no Rasta, there wouldn't be no Bob Marley. So when you sit here and listen to Bob Marley, you can't ignore the Rasta in him. This tune, yeah, if you never did listen to it all the while, why listen to it now? Building churches and university, deceiving the people continuously, graduating thieves and murder. Hey, me I tell you, man, what a tune. Them should have played that in a church every Sunday and Saturday too. Because a whole heap of deception are going on in that too, you know. When a man sit down and tell you about when you're dead, what happened to you, are the biggest deception that you know. Because him never dead yet, him don't know nobody where ever dead yet to come back and tell you where going. Then how him dead I tell you, and you see, meanwhile him I tell you that, You might drive to church and you walk. Sometimes you walk in your best shoes where you put up for Easter and Christmas. Black people have shoes to go to church, you know. Where them don't make you wear. All the people them don't wear them church shoes go to church. Go nowhere else, you know. May I tell you? When we are youth, you know, you have clothes. You see all Easter and Christmas. May I tell you, man, it's like if you don't wear them clothes, man, God I go punish you. If you go, hey, may I tell you, them dangerous, you know, them dangerous. When a man I tell you, say, the Lord in heaven and a point up in the sky. And you say, okay, one day we're all going to be taken up. Then what happened to the earth? And when you go down, now it's hell, you know. And most of the time, you know, appear white people in heaven, you know. I don't know if me want to go there still, you know. Because I could have go up there and outside my bridging them. Because I hardly really have any white friend and such. I mean, if it's a white friend, would I want to go up there still? I mean, I say, all right, I go up there because see some of my bridging them. But then again, I go that so wicked now that them do every want me up the neither. Because the gate of heaven is pearly white, you know. Peter, they had the gate with him book white. And God sit down upon a cloud there where him white. Him beard white. Him look like Santa Claus. And by the way, people, you don't trust Santa Claus here. Him is a pedophile. Him going to deal with children. If you notice him have children that sit down in him lap every Christmas, don't make your parents sit down in a Santa Claus lap. Because when you look at where I come from, at some little small people him have up there with him. What a terrible thing. So what else I say? Them grab way. Because meanwhile, them talk about heaven, you know, them have build up skyscraper, them have build this, them have build highways, and them have build byways, and them have big house and yacht, and this and that, and all them girlfriend and them boyfriend, and all them things. Meanwhile, them do all, I tell you about that. Them have all the things them was necessary to make life on earth more meaningful and make you happy. And them have this little fool tell you about, it is easier for a camel to go to the eye of an eagle than you ever see camel that go through the eye of an eagle. You know, say it is not easier, it is impossible. And when they talk about eagle, you know, it's not eagle where you sow with, you know. It's a gate where them used to have. A turnstile gate where them say the camel can't go through, you know. It's not eagle like where you sow with. But even to that, them want you to believe, say, you know, some black people are sitting down and say, boy, rich people have more problem than poor people. No, lie. All rich people have more problem than poor people. Because them don't want you to talk about rich. Them say, I don't want to be rich, I just want to have enough. What is enough? Enough is more than what you want. That is really what is enough. Don't make them sell with that foolishness. But you don't want to be rich. Why you wouldn't want to be rich? Yeah, because, you know, sir, rich people, you say, when you're wealthy, you have more problems. Where do you get that from? Most of the rich people, them, when we see them, when hurricane come, them house to blow down, you know. A poor people house blow down most of the time. And they say, if rich people house stop gone, before the hurricane done, them put on back them house stop. Yes, so when poor people house blow down, them going to ball to the government. So them, please, if you can get some money for help, you have to go in a shelter. And you have to go sit down with people you know like from long time. And you never did really want to associate with them when you're going at the shelter, go sit down with them. Poor people, hurricane come, them have all parties at them house and go and see them. Them turn on all them generator and they play music until hurricane done. Poor people, light gone all 6 months. And them I tell you, say, I don't want to be rich. Poor people, I don't want to be rich. I just want to have enough. Don't make them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Because if you did have money, you would have able to send your picnic to school in a better clothes. You could have buy where you want, drive a nice car, and have somewhere to park it. All right, now I see black people now, as them find a big money, so them go buy an expensive car and them don't have nowhere to park it. Them park it on the road and a guy just rob that rat and take off the tire of them. And I go like say, it better have like you. The preacher, is one of the most deceiving person you will ever find when it comes on to human dignity. Because him a promise you pie in the sky. There's no heaven in the sky. Heaven is not a physical place. It's a state of mind, a condition. There's no hell under the earth. We are only for black people there. And you're going to burn for almost. What a terrible thing. That people actually believe that there's a place that if you do something wrong, like if you get up one night as a youth and go in your mother's fridge and take out some of the food, God is watching you and I'm going to punish you. And as she vexing her, she's going to lick you. And she say, God will punish you. And then that little sin, you're going to go down under the earth and burn for thousands of years. Can somebody tell me how that is possible? That flesh can burn. And that means you're still alive, you know. That means you're still alive. But the torment is what is the problem now. That you're going to be down there burning while everybody up in heaven have air condition. That terrible, terrible thinking. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Listen to this.
See, Jomo Kenyatta once said, when the missionaries arrived, the Africans had the land and the missionaries had the Bible. They taught us how to pray with our eyes closed. And when we opened them, they had the land and we had the Bibles. Do you see how swiftly they pull wool from the lamp of God over our eyes? The greatest lie colonialism ever told was that it brought God to Africa. Yes, they brought their Bibles, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their churches, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their guns, but they did not bring God to our lands. What they brought was an image made to justify the breaking of our bodies like communion bread, a false idol that to this day I still see hanging in so many Kenyan homes, a frame full of blonde hair, pink and pale skin, eyes, a light blue piercing enough to draw blood, to have already drawn blood.
The poem from a sister out of Kenya. Can we play it again to make the people them hear, because they might not hear it again. Yes.
See, Jomo Kenyatta once said, when the missionaries arrived, the Africans had the land and the missionaries had the Bible. They taught us how to pray with our eyes closed. And when we opened them, they had the land and we had the Bibles. Do you see how swiftly they pull wool from the lamp of God over our eyes? The greatest lie colonialism ever told was that it brought God to Africa. Yes, they brought their Bibles, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their churches, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their guns, but they did not bring God to our lands. What they brought was an image made to justify the breaking of our bodies like communion bread, a false idol that to this day I still see hanging in so many Kenyan homes, a frame full of blonde hair, pink and pale skin, eyes, a light blue piercing enough to draw blood, to have already drawn blood.
Yes, I tell you. And it still happen. Because some people prefer to give up a good life for a promised life. Because them say one day, you know, long my great-great-grandmother sit down and I wait, and she dead and gone, and my grandmother come sit down and wait, and she dead and gone. But I give thanks I have a mother where I never sit down and wait, because I would have sit down and wait too. And all the people them over the years who sit down and wait die in the poverty where them born in now. And if you look on the nation them that is progressing and having a better life for their family and the nation, them don't have no whole heap of argument about when you die you're going to go there, and when you die you're going to go there. It's lie them I tell. Anybody who can show me and prove to me that him know without any doubt that when you're dead, what happened to you when you're dead, if him know that and can show me personally, I will change my talk. Or if anybody who know anybody who is dead and get up and come tell you, say, boy, you say, I did dead yesterday, you know, and I tell you, say, so when I'm dead, and enough girls me woke up, you know. Hey, look here, man. You see the Muslim them, and let a lie them tell to, you know, because them tell the people, them say, watch out. You say, if you tie and bomb on you, you're a martyr. When you die, you know, you will get 72 virgins. What a terrible thing. Can you imagine a man tie and bomb on him and say, all right, I am doing it in the name of 72 virgins. Blow up himself. The man who tell him that never get 72, him will have 2. Why would I want 72 virgin? I don't even want 5. Not to say I want more than 1, but I mean, like, really? Why would I want 72 virgin? Want to the people, want to the woman, they want no virgin. I cast out woman now who, you see, as I show you them people they set up them religion thing, virgin, that they have to specify virgin, you know. It's like an ancient thing, you know, the gods always love virgin, you know. In all of these religious practices, like, you know, the Mayan thing and in the Christian and in the Greek mythology, the gods like Zeus must have all the women, they must have to be virgin. And like in a Christianity now, Jesus couldn't come without come to a virgin. So it a little stigma upon women who don't have sex already. You know, see? So the 72 virgin is a great idea for a man who's stupid. Can me now blow up myself, not even for go heaven. Whether that's virgin up there or not, me now blow up myself. You understand? So you can't just see how them do them thing and get your card, and then some people not think, because you see, most of the time it's poor people them sell them target to, you know. It's mostly poor people fall for them thinking there, you know. Yes, man, when you die, you know, all you have to do is trust in the Lord. You know, baptize, them dip in the water, and you're supposed to different. What the hell is that? Every man me beard, and even me beard, I'm not different from when me did no beard. More than I'm going to smell funny. I mean, who came up with these things? Who came up with these things that people can be caught in them and feel like, yes, them different? It's a psychological brainwashing. It's brainwashing. Because them put you in a state of ecstasy, passion, and sometimes pain. And then them you say, well, you change. Like what them say, Jesus died for the sins of the world. And from him dead till now, more sin upon the world than ever before. Things change, but it changed for the worse. So I don't know why a man that send him only son for go dead for some little people where are going worse now. Because I remember one time, him look on the world and put 8 people in a boat and kill off the whole everybody upon the earth. What a terrible talking story that. What a story that, man. The compassionate Lord put 8 people in an ark and tore every animal and then wipe out everybody else. Pregnant woman who can't afford certain thing. Not only that time they do it in Egypt too. Him wipe out all the firstborn. Why would a man kill? Not a man. Why would something, entity, wipe out all the children them in a country because of one man saying nah leg or some people? I spite him, to pick them and say, all right, fear you know, the people them, watch where I go, I kill the whole of your picking them. That sounds like one gunman at Jamaica or an Italian mafia where just wipe out people because you're supposed to bring $100,000 come give me, you know, bring it and say, I'm going to kill your family, your mother, your papa, your dog. I'm going to kill. And who give you them story there? Who give you those stories? And we hold on upon it. This is the Cutting Edge coming to you live from Krem Radio in Belize. So, I got over there.
15 things poor people do that the rich don't. Number 1, poor people watch a lot of TV. Let me put it this way. If you have the time to watch reality TV, you're probably poor. It's always amazing how much time poor people waste on meaningless television. It's one of those distractions that grabs you and doesn't let go. If you know which celebrity is dating who, and if you're watching TV shows every week as the episodes come on, if you have a favorite news channel, you're probably watching too much television. Hence why your life is the way it is. Let us explain. Celebrity gossip and buzz offers no value to your life. It only serves the celebrities. Rich people aim to be on TV instead of watching it. You might say, but Alux, I'm watching The Big Bang Theory, which is a really funny show, and it helps me disconnect. That's exactly the issue. You disconnect from your problems instead of dealing with them and getting them out of the way. There are rare occasions where, in the words of John Lennon, time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. But really think about it. Should sitting inside watching a screen be something you really enjoy doing? Before we move forward to the second thing poor people do, let me explain what we meant by having a favorite news channel. You might say that the only good reason to watch TV is to be aware of what's happening in the world, staying informed. The problem we're seeing with this is that TV stations are always biased in order to fit their own agenda. Instead, use the power of the internet to get a quick glimpse of what the world is like today and move on to do your own thing. Number 2, poor people eat fast food. Health is really important, and many poor people have no interest in knowing what's in their food, what an actual healthy meal should look like, or barely know anything about nutrition. Poor people are blasting their brains with large quantities of sugar and fats with no nutritional value. They are actively ruining their bodies, and as an effect, they cannot perform at 100% of their potential. If you're not healthy, all aspects of your life are directly affected. You'll suffer physically, mentally, professionally, and even romantically. Number 3. Poor people buy clothes or products that are on sale. Let me put it this way. The only thing you should buy on sale are stocks. While poor people are looking to conserve or stretch the little that they have, the rich are focused on increasing their incomes. Just think about it. The clothes that end up being on sale are the ones that people who could afford to pay the full price didn't want. By buying clothes on sale, you're just making sure that you're looking exactly like someone who can't afford to pay the full price. Number 4. Poor people wake up later than rich people do in their early years. Poor people are often lazier than the rich in the early days. We know that some of you will be bothered a lot by the previous statement, but statistically, it's the truth. Someone who used their youth to grow themselves is a lot less likely to remain poor later on in life. Instead, if you wake up late, don't educate yourself. Waste time on meaningless activities. At one point, you'll find yourself so far behind what the world needs from you that you'll end up miserable. The paradox is that people who do not focus on growth in the early days end up working a lot harder with little success rate later in life just to stay afloat. We've done an entire series on inspiring people on our channel, and almost all of them, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and more, wake up early. You can check the series out in the top right corner. Number 5. Poor people are really into sports. The truth is, unless you're a professional athlete or an owner of one of the teams, there's really no reason for you to watch sports. It's the same with television. It's escapism from your current reality. Think of it like this. You're putting yourself in a position where you as an individual have no impact on the outcome of the game. Zero impact. This behavior then sticks with you, and you end up being a spectator in life instead of being a player or an owner. And that's when you start criticizing other people when you yourself haven't done anything better. Number 6. Poor people don't shower as often as rich people do. Initially, we thought this was just a made-up fact, but it turns out to be true. And amazingly, it explains a lot when you really think about it. Most of the jobs today are in the service industries, where human contact is a must in order to have a successful exchange of value. People who don't have good personal hygiene will, in time, be less successful than their counterparts. People tend to trust them less. People want to spend less time in their presence, and all of this has ramifications in their personal life. If people don't like you and don't want to be around you, what kind of partners will you attract? Exactly. It might seem ridiculous, but the first step to success should be an early morning shower. Number 7. Poor people blame others for their misfortunes. How many people do you know that have some sort of excuse or blame other factors for not being successful yet? There are some things that are out of our control, but 99% of your life is on you. Remember that you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your relationships. You are in charge of your health. You want these to change? Do something about it. Life is not what happens to us. It's how we react to what happens to us. When something bad happens, the poor choose to victimize themselves, while the rich look into it, study it, They seek to find out what happened, why it happened, and how they can protect from it in the future. While one assumes the position of vulnerable victim, the other uses it as a growing point. Number 8. Poor people have no money saved. One of the differences between poor people and the rich is that the former don't get ready for what's next. Having money put aside allows for growth. Let's say something bad happens. If you have money put aside, the problem is solved and you can resume your life. If you don't and the situation is urgent, what do? You either liquidate an asset like your car, house, etc., or you can take out a loan. For the rich, when the situation is over, they're left in the same position minus the savings, while for someone who's poor, their lifestyle has been dramatically hit or now belongs to the creditor. Now, let's look at the exact opposite. An opportunity arises. Those who have money put aside now have the chance to expand their lives while the other can't afford to take full advantage of this opportunity. That's why the rich are growing richer while the poor are getting poorer. Number 9. Poor people use credit cards or take out loans for useless things. One of the main differences between rich and poor is how they make use of credit. The rule is simple. If you take out a loan to buy something that doesn't generate more money than the loan, don't take it. It's that simple. You should only use credit if what you'll be using it for is an investment. Want to take out a loan for a large TV? Don't. Want a loan to buy that new Supreme gear? Don't. Want to use credit cards to get the new iPhone? Don't. Unless you're flipping the Supreme gear for profit, or you're using your iPhone to develop a new app to grow your business, these items should not be on your credit. Instead, earn the money and then spend it. You'll learn more about this on number 12. Number 10. Poor people tend to have more kids and earlier in life. The truth is, kids are really, really expensive. We all know how fun it is to make them, or at least practice making them. But people get stuck up to this point. They don't think it's true. Just to give you a sense of perspective, if you're living in one of the more developed countries, raising a child will cost you approximately $250,000. Because of a lack of education, bad environment, and other factors, poor people have, on average, more children and at a younger age than their rich counterparts. While the rich wait a couple of years until their standards of living improve in order to assure the right environment and prime conditions for their child to flourish, the poor just go ahead with it. Once the baby comes, the struggling begins. Just so they can stay afloat and progress beyond barely surviving is almost impossible to achieve. Number 11. Poor people do not do regular checks with their doctors. We've touched on the importance of health in the past, but this is an especially important point. Poor people do not get themselves checked regularly. Let's say by mere chance you end up having a difficult disease, let's say cancer. If you do regular checkups, you'll discover it in early stages, making the treatment possible at a lower cost. If, on the other hand, you neglect to do so, you might discover it only when it's too late. It will cost both you and your entire family a fortune, and no matter how much money you have, you might still lose your life. Number 12. Poor people spend money before they get it. One of the biggest dangers in life is spending money before you have it. The second you start borrowing money or acquiring expenses before you're able to pay them, your life starts to spiral down. If you don't have money for something that you're willing to part with without affecting your life, then you can't afford it. Go back to work and then get it. Number 13. Poor people surround themselves with other poor people. True A-Lexers know that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most. If you're surrounded by 4 poor people, guess who's the 5th? One of the ways people make sure they stay poor is by affiliating themselves or hanging out with other poor people that reinforce their poor beliefs. You need people around you that will inspire you and push you further, that are doing incredible things themselves, whose success will only motivate you to exceed your current reality. If you're hanging out with the same people you did when you were young, you might want to double check. Don't be afraid to step away from a crowd and move on to something better. If you don't, your potential will probably be crushed by those who want to feel better about their miserable lives by making sure you suffer the same fate. Number 14. Poor people never follow through on their ideas or potential. You're not able to control who your parents are, where you were born, or the way society treats you. The only thing you can control is the amount of hours you put into your dream. Every single person alive only has 24 hours per day, and yet some do a lot more than others. If you dedicate yourself to learning and implementing more about what you're passionate about, it's only a matter of time until you reach success. You've heard that 9 out of 10 businesses fail in their first 3 years. Well, do you know how many businesses fail because they never got started? The answer is all of them. If you have an idea, work on it. Put it out. Get feedback. Improve it. Launch again and again and again. It took us 3 years of writing thousands of articles on alux.com before we decided to take the jump and make videos here on YouTube. Number 15. Poor people believe that others should help them reach the top. The world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody does. Believe it or not, you're in this by yourself. You are in charge of what happens in your life. The thing is, everyone believes when they're young that they're going to be successful, but then reality happens. This world we're living in rewards only the best, those that never quit, those that keep learning, keep adapting, and understand that nobody will solve their problems for them. Face them head on, and along the way, you might meet people who feel the same way and might share parts of the journey with you. Otherwise, you'll just be a part of that majority that's meant to fail. We know this video was pretty long, but we believe that maybe this video will help you in your journey.
This is the Cutting Edge on KremFM in Belize. As I said in the last hour, give thanks to Krem Radio, give thanks to Yaya for really give this opportunity to spread the Cutting Edge in Belize live. Yes, I hear it through a second source. I hear it live. A long time. I'm afraid say the woman, little girl child, I bring home a rasta to dinner, Long time I'm afraid I guess who coming to dinner? Bongo Tony. What? You bring Bongo Tony in my yard? None of that. But guess how? Bongo Tony come in now, none of the food deal, Yes. I know them why Bongo Tony I eat. Yes. Bongo Tony come and say, oh, tell me some Bongo Tony. You can show me how to cook some vegetables. I'm tired of the meat. Well, everybody's so tired of meat, because you can imagine when the cow them start rise up and start eat people. A long time them I eat grass, and people I eat them. Jamaica right now, them are prepared for bringing the Emancipation Day. They have a big thing. There's a place named Civil Great House, where years ago we took some of the bones, them used to bury slaves there. We take some of the bones and carry it back to Africa through the door of no return, or we call it the door of return. Very momentous occasion that was to actually take our ancestor bone and carry it back to Africa. Now we see a lot of people going down to Ghana to celebrate the year of return. The government declared the year of return, so whole heap of ones gone down there. Them have Panafesto. So we know how the thing is slow, as we say, the thing has go slow, but trust me, we're confident and we're not going to stop. We're not going to make no little one get with down and say, boy, look how long you talk to black people and them not listen. Trust me. Think them not listen. Them a listen. And even though 10 not listen out of 1,000, but we know, say, anytime the revolution did start, or anytime a revolution start, most of the time it's not the majority plan it. Or not the majority was involved in it. But we know, say, good must overcome evil, and that we really work with. We want to play this one, it's a Jamaican thing, but we want to play the one them for all who know we are going in Jamaica right now with the politicians them, with the corruption and all that. Well, maybe it all happening so too, we don't know. But we're not exempt. No way. Brand new, listen. Hey, why you listen to them tune, Why you listen to them tune, Believe you me. Because the artists, them not ramp, especially the reggae artists, them not ramp. Say, next week, they're going to decide if Vibes Cartel will come out of prison or not. Next week, yes. Here we go again. Cocotte. First time, no man, no one, a Rasta man, Rasta man, if you go lay down with Rasta man and make him ear touch me, that the tuku kind of ear, then no. You see, no. Them want to play up in the Rasta locks. Wash the Rasta locks. Oil the Rasta locks. Things change. Things change. Because I remember when I stop up on road and start try to get bus, the man them said, nah, let me in there, I come in here, I go touch the people them. And now you drive car, you say, why motor you drive big car? They want to when me little walk, they never want to take me on a car. And now me I drive my own car, of course, I have my own car. I can't carry on, but me not carry on. Hey, Rasta people, I don't want to treat the daughter them no way, Because no matter what you want to say, You know which part you come from? All right. It's the first time. You think me could have gone near a woman, but me a barefoot and I look at her. She said, Muta, you take people for idiot. Barefoot, you don't have no ambition. You put all shows. Queen Africa, black woman, protect your rapper, pam, whatever that is. So you will say, no, we want to play some tune for the daughter them, well, that one that was for the daughter them still, but we specifically I play this one here for the sister them who declare them Africanness in a Belize. I don't meet much of them yet, but I hope to meet more of them tomorrow in a Belize. Why say you're the mother of creation, all the way why you don't talk about. I mean, I talk about no virgin neither. Whether you're virgin or you're not virgin, we don't cater for them kind of talk there. Black woman or black woman, whether you're Christian, whether you're Rasta, whether you're prostitute, any one of them. Because sometimes you hear about man who cause prostitute and you don't know them condition and them situation, why them a do what them a do. You understand? I know it sound weird for a Rasta man to tell them thing about, that's how we say it. A man can easily run up his mouth, but you see when a man get a woman pregnant and run, gone left her, saying gone a foreign, and go start another family and left the woman here so with her 3 picnic, and she don't have no job, she don't have no education. She have more compassion to the youth them more than the man. Because the man will run around and have more, but she, hungry between 9 and 10 months, she can't have a next one. So you will say no. We want to see the reality of the situation. Condemnation and condemning is one thing, but when you find yourself in that situation is the next thing. So this one is for all the sisters them in a Belize. We are play them. So here we are saying, no, we're going to make the music so we want to say, for the rest of the program. Because, say sometimes when the people them hear the music, them go really go find out about the music too. I mean, why you find out about the music. This next one is for all the preacher them out there. As a matter of fact, go and play 2 songs for the preacher them. Listen to this. Listen to this. You ready for it? You don't ready for it? Yeah, that you ready for it. Oh, shall listen to the program, but you can't sleep. But you can't sleep, Yeah, who said she ready for this is the lady who responsible for bringing her, She brave, She brave, trust me, she brave. Some of them have all ATM machine in the church. But I tell you, they have all ATM machine, If you don't have cash, them just put your card in it and just take what you want. Hey, them no easy, man, I tell you, man. Oh, wow, I tell you. I know the way this, I don't know joke business this, One time I go in our bank, I'm say, you want to see me give Jesus some money, Can't tell me bank account number. The woman laugh and vex at the same time. But I say, but every time the man I tell you, give Jesus the money. And him have no bank account, so for bank account the money gone to. Terrible people them. Terrible people them. Terrible. Anyway, we continue the musical journey. This is the Cutting Edge and KremFm broadcasting live from Krem Radio in Belize, streaming on Krem Television Facebook page, live on GOLIVEBZ app. Give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the time and the energy, give thanks to stay with the whosoever stay with me. Say we might not pass this way again to do this again, but I guarantee you, if you come this way again, we will do it again. But yeah, come tell what we do tomorrow. Come tell the people what we do tomorrow before we come out of here, because I don't remember the things them. When I do all that things, I don't remember. Wait, the whole and we can push up the right one. Yes, okay.
I think it's about midnight, so it's happy emancipation. Well, I got some more minutes left. Happy emancipation. All right, good. So tomorrow morning from 6 to 7 at Marine Parade, the seawall. Oh, you never know us early. I have to get up, Muta.
Oh, me not have to do so.
Yes, you have to. Muta,
6 o'clock.
Listen to me. We're going by the seawall, by the water. We're going to enforce our ancestors.
Yeah, but we have water in our room.
Muta, we're going on the libation. Watch out. You know, if you want rest, brother, respect you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, then. So tomorrow, I don't hear what I want to get rest, right? So tomorrow morning, 6 to 7 a.m. in front of Golden Bay, Marine Parade, the seawall, where I have drumming, libation, releasing flower petals into the water. When do libation, opportunity for say what we want to say to ancestors from whose shoulders we stand. Brother said today, we the way ancestors. And so that's tomorrow morning and tomorrow night from 7 to 10 Gateway Youth Center. Free your mind, Mutabaruka leading the conversation. Gateway Youth Center in Belize City next to Gwenley's High School. So make sure on a tune in. If you don't have any white clothing, you can wear that tomorrow morning. If not, you come as you are. And yeah, respect, brother.
Ashe, all right. The sister Saoirse say, yeah, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Whoa, all right. No, maybe just I think about it. I say, I come, just I think about it, you know. Usually when we don't continue, you know, we sleep till the next program, which is 2 o'clock of the day. So we sleep till 12, 1 o'clock. But we're part of work, so I don't know. If it calls for do that, we have to do that. So as we say, Emancipation Day is a reality, and you have to reflect on certain things. What are you doing for not only liberating yourself, but those you love? Not only your family, but those around you. Because it have to extend outwards. But first it have to go inwards. Because there's nothing in the sky that is going to save you. You have to save yourself. As simple as that. You have to save yourself. You have to save your family. Why you look my Rasta brethren and sister them in a Belize? You know, I will probably get to it different ways, but it's so many rivers, but it's one sea. So many leaves is one tree. Sometimes you get to it one way, the other way, but you get to it. We give thanks for that. I know no matter what them want to say, we will forever hail in Emperor Haile Selassie the First. No matter what them want to say, them could have taught this and taught that little more. Because we know, say, we must have do something right if so much. Hey, look here, I can tell you something, man. A whole heap of time, we look for certain things and I say, but look how them do that now, and rather than that said long time. Look at all this, everybody are turned vegetarian now. Them say 1/3 of England are turned vegetarian. Vegan, vegetarian. Rasta talk about white food long time, and people are saying, Rasta, where you get them foolishness there? All my mother cause me have me a turn rabbit. Because I eat pure vegetable, I not eat out of pot again. Look how long them a cause Rasta about locks. Rasta on the locks dirty and it look funny and people go comb on the head. And now we see locks up on TV and them have false locks now. All the little young girls, them no want them ear look like locks. Them no want the real thing. And then we have some man who twist it up them ear like them want come trick the people them. Look how long we are talking about ganja, how much I will get murdered, killed, beaten by police in Jamaica for ganja. Now see the government a transport and a move ganja from one place to the next, so them a deal with medical marijuana. Canada, one of the most conservative countries, them legalize it. You know what state in America legalize? Colorado make billions of dollars off of ganja. But Rasta get persecuted for it. So the question is, what else Rasta is saying that little more down the line, people go and say, ratted, you know, say Rasta that long time. You know, them say, a prophet without honor in his own country. And the stone that the builder refuse, sometimes it become the building. So we're not going to stop. Because when we look on the reality of certain things, we realize, I know for we. So you to all the youth them in Belize, we are yelling up, you know, and know say, we saw the thing go, the pressure of modern technology and modern life, but we want, you know, say, live long like your grandmother. Because right now, pay your grandmother bury grand picnic. That's not supposed to happen. young people are dead from disease where old people used to dead from. It's kind of stressful. We I tell the parents, them say, protect the children. Protect the children, you know. And you have to put down your foot. Because the way things are going now, the children look like them now, no parents. So you will say, I got with our music, you know.